Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend, and I hope everyone's having a great day back to work, back to whatever they're up to, and having a great week, fantastic week. Lots of stuff. We went from 2 days of no news to, Democrats and media companies having a hissy fit about Trump all over again. It's lovely. It's lovely. This man Trump can't even enjoy his, 1 or 2 days of vacation. But Biden got the vacation 40% of his presidency. Just doesn't make much sense. Just isn't very fair to Mr. Donald J. Trump. Not at all, not at all. But I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. Let me know who's watching. Drop a comment down below. And yeah, we're just going to wait for a couple people to join in, and then we're going to get into some of the news going on and some of the stuff like that. But it's just crazy. Like, Trump will say certain things that'll just be very minute things, and the Democrats will overreact like it. Like, Donald Trump the other day at 10 p.m. said good night, and now everyone is like on Twitter going crazy about it. Oh, he's sickly, this or that. The Democrats wish he was sickly. That way they can get rid of him. But I got bad news for him. They got 3.5 years left of Mr. Trump. And nothing is changing that. Just because Trump tweets this, the Democrats will say this. This dude hasn't been to bed before 3 a.m. since he was young enough to steal change out of his mom's purse. I mean, maybe this was just a funny Republican. It really doesn't matter. But this is kind of proving the point. People will go nutso over the smallest little things that Trump does. If this man makes a tiny mistake or does something a little unusual, sometimes people will overreact and have a big hissy fit. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Mr. Trump is healthy. He's doing well. And bad news for the Democrats. He'll be around for a long time. I know the Democrats don't like to hear that, but it is the God-given truth. And even if he wasn't around, even if he did get sick, we would still have J.D. Vance. And the Democrats would be crying twice as hard, so there's really not much of a difference. I don't understand why they're like celebrating like this is some big win for them. They always celebrate all over these little small things that are not really making too much sense. And they also celebrate whenever stuff goes wrong. Why would you want the destruction of America? Just because you can blame it on one person? That's kind of, very disgusting. You should want the best for America, regardless of who is president. And if you want the worst just so you can blame it on a specific person, you probably got Trump derangement. Excuse me. But yeah, if you want the worst for America so you can blame it on President Trump, you probably got Trump derangement syndrome. But yeah, we got a lot of videos to show you, a lot of stuff that we can talk about. But yeah, there's a lot of videos we're going to play for you guys. Trump says he will reward Rudy Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Honestly with you, I don't really care one way or another, but it just seems a bit strange to me at the very least. A bit strange. Isn't this the guy, the governor of Chicago? Yeah, the governor of Chicago is saying that he might team up with Trump now because there are 57 murders. 54 shot on Chicago Labor Day weekend and 7 killed. They'll just scream at the top of their lungs, "Oh, Chicago is safe. We don't need D.C. We don't need what happened in D.C. to happen here." What do you mean? You don't need to clean up the crime? Brother, if you're going to ask for someone specifically back on my show, either just wait for them to come back or drop a super chat. It's really that simple. What's up? How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? So let's play this little video here. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Over the weekend, at least 54 people were shot. This is just
in Chicago.
7 killed. Several of the incidents were mass.
Donald J. Trump is your president. Double tap that screen. Like, subscribe.
Violence comes as President Trump threatens to send federal agents and National Guard troops. Unusual in Chicago, which has been plagued by gun violence for generations, not years, for generations. The question would be, if President Trump sends in the National Guard, are they going to go into these neighborhoods where the gun violence is taking place? If so, what role would they have? How could they help to stop it? Or, like in Washington, would they be at Navy Pier?
Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome, and it's hilarious to watch. Double tap that screen, like, subscribe.
In Wrigley Field.
Well, my concern is you have leaders in Chicago that see this, as you say. We've been reading about this for years now. Every weekend, and maybe crime has gone down.
Blue states have more inequality. The poor blue Democrats rely on Hollywood movie stars to pay their benefits. Get the facts right.
Chicago on last week saying, "Oh, we don't need any more police officers. Police officers aren't the answer. No police officers." I think he said no 5 times. You look what's happening this weekend. You look so. I actually think that J.B. Pritzker should do something radical. I think he should pick up the phone, call the president.
No blue states, only blue cities.
And say, you know and I know, you don't have the constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard here, and the police might. You can do that in D.C., you can't do that in Chicago. But let's partner up. These are the most dangerous parts of my state. We would love to figure out how to have a partnership that's constitutional, that respects the sort of balance of federalism between the federal government and the state government. And let's work together to save lives. Because right now, hey, nothing to see here moving along. No problem here. Hey, Donald Trump, we don't need you. And, the mayor talking about we're going to protect people's dignity in our city. Well, protect their lives. That's protecting their dignity. It would be radical for us to figure out a way to actually do what?
Press 2 if you love Donald Trump.
And that is seeing politicians
hit that like button, guys,
that protect their people.
Yeah, it seems unlikely, though, if passage pro on video, the governor or the president will take that step to have that.
Name another city that had 54 people shot over Labor Day. I'll wait. I will wait. Trump tweeted last night. I don't know what you're talking about.
That moment of
cry.
And unity. You're right. We had the mayor on here last week who correctly noted that hiring police officers isn't the be-all and end-all. You have to do other things too. It has to be a holistic response. You have to do things in the community. But you're right. He stubbornly said he would not accept more police officers. And I think he would, a lot of
double tap the screen. Hit that like button, guys.
Democrats, even real progressives. But I think there is the element, to your point, Joe, is that if there were to be a partnership, these troops would have to be used correctly. And that's not been the case in DC for the most part. They have largely been deployed to tourist attractions, to Lincoln Memorial, maybe to Union Station, only a little bit into the neighborhoods where there actually has been a rise in crime.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
You do not. You can get on the Acela without much trouble there. But so there's no. That's what the governor's point has been, that if these troops come to Chicago, and we agree that.
Brother, do you not keep up with the news? Would you like me to pull up Truth Social? He tweeted on Sunday. It is now Tuesday. You Democrats are ridiculous. Trump is alive and well, so you can scream at the top of your lungs all you want. All you want, Diddycrats, all you want. But it doesn't change the fact that Trump is alive, healthy, and well. Well, I don't care if you're a liberal or a communist. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. Liberals and communists are in the same atmosphere, if you ask me. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Let me know where you guys are coming from. What city, what state, but let's continue with this.
then he wouldn't be used the way where they're needed.
Labor Day weekend, 54 shots.
Chicago, there's been a renewed focus on crime rates in other parts of the country, including states governed by Republicans. New analysis from the New York Times highlights the high crime rates in cities like Memphis and Nashville.
Yeah, these are blue cities. Memphis is a blue city. So what? It's in a red state. Who cares about the state? It's a Democrat-ran city.
National Guard troops to Washington, despite Memphis facing a murder rate about twice as high as Washington.
Idiot.
That's according to the FBI.
I mean, seriously, what an idiot.
This is how procrastination.
Let's get back to it.
You're actually going to help Washington, D.C. when you have cities that have twice the crime rate?
They don't believe it because they're deranged.
Speaker of the House, oh wait, you're attacking San Francisco? San Francisco's a lot safer.
Double tap that screen, guys. Hit that like button.
What did he say? You're something like 400 times more likely to get killed.
Bro has dedicated and punctual haters. Seems about right to me. Welcome in, Coffin Crook. How you doing, brother? I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend.
In Speaker Johnson's home state of Louisiana, then in, as he's probably saying now, the greatest governor in the world, Gavin Newsom.
First off, this isn't copyrighted. Second off, this is a review. We're just reviewing this material, and it's completely following the guidelines. So cry, 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 liberal. Cry, cry, cry. I'm going to time you out for that dumb comment because it's not true.
California.
Okay. That's the insanity of this. These red state governors sending National Guard up to D.C. when D.C. probably has a lower crime rate per capita than their home states.
Well, it's all to please President Trump. So you've got a guy.
All these Democrats scream at the top of their lungs, well, this red state has a lot of crime in this blue city. Yeah. Tennessee has a lot of crime in Memphis, which the mayor is Democrat. The city is Democrat-ran.
National Guardsman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, being called up not to protect his own state, but to go to Washington and stand outside the Lincoln Memorial. Republican governors of Texas, Ohio, Missouri, all lead states with cities that have higher crime rates than Washington as well. None of those, though, have asked for federal intervention either.
Yeah, David Ignatius, it's all showbiz, as John Lennon would sing, and nobody loves you when you're down and out. It's all showbiz. And you see these red state governors. I mean, I could go down the list. I mean, you look per capita, whether it's Nashville, Memphis, New Orleans, Louisiana, whether it's Bessemer, Alabama, whether it's Shreveport, Louisiana, whether it's Monroe, Louisiana, whether it's Little Rock, Arkansas. I could keep going on and on and on. But there are mid-sized and large American cities that are far more dangerous per capita than Washington, D.C. And these
yeah, but Washington, D.C. is in the top 5.
Clowns of governors are actually sending National Guard troops away from their more dangerous cities.
Nope, D.C. is still in the top 5, mister.
To go pose in front of a Krispy Kreme donut shop in DuPont Circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not show business for people who get shot. And there is just way too much crime in America's cities, in red states and blue states alike. You'd think a sensible country would stand together and say, let's address this crime problem. That Democrats would have every bit as much of an interest in doing.
It's the Democrats' favorite news network.
It's Democratic voters who end up paying the most severe cost in terms of violence. And yet, this like everything else in this country, this just accelerates as a partisan issue. It's just a shame.
Why are the Democrats complaining? It's their favorite news network. It's the Democrats' favorite news.
As illustrated by last weekend, is just way too high. Nobody should accept that, and nobody should say that that's a politicize that. Authorities in Illinois and Chicago should say, either have a plan to have better enforcement on their own, or, as you said, reach out to the federal government for assistance. I'd love to see Governor Pritzker do the same thing that Governor Westmore has done in Maryland. Maryland was a high crime state, Baltimore in particular. Westmore, who has a deep understanding of criminal justice issues, having come up, as Westmore will say, when I was 11, I had cuffs on my wrist. He knows what this is, and he managed to make his way into the military, into a distinguished career. He knows this from every side, and he has brought that crime rate down in Maryland by being tough about it, by making no compromises, by being the guy who funds community policing, stands behind it. So somehow the Democrats have to own this issue. Republican governors who have crime problems in cities in their states have to own the issue. We just need to be honest. We have a problem as a country. It's too violent. Everybody knows it. I just have been traveling overseas. It's going to happen overseas. It shouldn't.
That's
happen
another
here.
lie. It does happen.
Well, and as we've been saying here, don't just look at the crime stats going down and say, "Oh, it's safer now than it was during COVID or post-COVID." That's praising. I mean, that's faint praise. I mean, it's not enough. And the showbiz part of it is red state governors sending their National Guardsmen and women up to Washington, D.C. when they have more dangerous cities and towns.
I'm bored of this whole bullcrap Morning Joe shit. They can't even get their viewers to watch it for more than 10 seconds because it's so boring. Now, what we should watch is this video, which is pretty accurate. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button.
Presidential campaign and senior MSNBC political contributor Matthew Dowd, Charlie Dent is.
If you guys have any requests, any videos you want to play, anything you want to talk about, drop some super chats.
All right, gentlemen. Matt, I'll give you the first one. Trump's face on Mount Rushmore?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't know what ideal. I mean, the four faces that were carved were really not about the individuals per se. They were about the ideals of America. And I don't know. I mean, take out the practical.
Trump fits the ideals of America perfectly. Perfectly. This guy's just mad because Trump is his daddy.
Consequences of not being able to do it. What ideal Donald Trump represents in this. And the other part of this is that we all understand is that this land, as the Supreme Court determined, is actually land that was illegally taken from the Lakota Indians. And by treaty, they got this land, and it was illegally taken in order to do this. And even though the Park Service owns this land, the Native American tribes are going to have a lot to say about this. I think this is, going to your last segment where Charlie was talking before, this is just another example of the sort of sycophants in the Republican Party today that just will do anything and say anything, even though they know it's not possible, just to get on Donald Trump's good side, even the idea of desecrating a historic monument.
Charlie?
Look, of all the problems that we're dealing with in this country, from the cost of everything to, real international issues.
Guys, the majority of America wants Donald J. Trump's face on that Mount Rushmore. If a majority of American voters want it, then we should do it. It's that simple. It is that simple. In the future, they're not going to say desecrating a monument. They're going to say beautiful added piece to this legendary American monument.
We are talking about Mount Rushmore. And you heard all the reasons why, they're artistic, they're cultural reasons, they're tribal reasons, environmental issues, and of course there's engineering issues, there's not enough rock.
There is enough rock. Add Trump's face on the end. I see a perfect place where he can put his face on Mount Rushmore.
On people who are no longer alive. We don't talk about doing this for somebody who is not only alive but currently in office. So for all these reasons, I don't think this is going to happen. And by the way,
it should happen. Executive order.
Last I checked, and I suspect you'd have a difficult time getting 60 votes. So I would just take this proposal and kind of stick it in one of the drawers and say, we're not going to be messing around with
Shout out the Netherlands.
Anytime over the next few years.
Speaking of people not being alive, there was a strange rumor that took over the internet over the weekend that Donald Trump was no longer with us.
That is a lie.
I got a text, I think Saturday night, asking me about it. I missed it. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but apparently it got pretty big. Donald Trump even tweeted, I guess, the other day, I've never felt better in my life. What is the deal with these health concerns and these rumors on social media? I mean, I think it's interesting.
They hate Trump,
on TV all the time.
but Trump is
So
the
many
most
times a day,
loved
every day, not seeing him
president
for
in
2 days
American
in a row,
history.
Matthew, makes people wonder what might have happened to him.
This is one of the downsides of social media. And I, for one, wasn't aware of this until today because I was out of Wi-Fi range for the last week in the San Juan Islands. So luckily I didn't have to pay attention to any of this stuff. I think probably it's being driven by the health concerns that have been raised by people that have looked at Donald Trump, whether it's a look at his legs or the bruise and things on his hand or whatever. And
Mr. Trump
he's
is
really an
healthy.
80-year-old
Don't
man.
try to lie.
Who
Don't try to lie.
Look in the best of health when you look at him and observe him, even though White House physicians, I guess, have said otherwise. But I'm glad I missed this on social media. And for all the people that don't like Donald Trump, I have to tell them Donald Trump is still alive.
There was a moment also where J.D. Vance said, nothing's going on, but if there were a tragedy, I would be ready to step up. That added fuel to the fire, Charlie.
Look, this is just the recklessness of social media, and frankly, and all these conspiracy.
I think it's time to put on the famous background, guys. There's only one way to deal with the Democrat Party, and I know the perfect way to deal with them. We gotta make them look how they really are. And there's always one way to do that. Let me find the background. Oh, here it is, the legendary background. These people will tell these people that they're brainwashed. Yet they have 20 of these things, and they wear a damn mask while they're driving down the street by themselves, which is ridiculous, which is absolutely ridiculous. The Democrats will wear a mask when they aren't sick, no one else is in their car, and they're driving down the street by themselves, and no one else is in the car. And these Democrats think that they're intelligent? What kind of crack are they smoking on? Hunter Biden's new jet fuel crack that he just invented? They are still wearing masks. They are still wearing the masks. They believe in all this bullshit. They believe in all this bullshit. All this kind of bullshit they believe in. All of it. No, you've never seen a senior wearing a MAGA hat, wearing a mask, driving down the street with no one else in the car. The Democrats are still living in 2020. I see them driving down the street with masks on. No one else in the car, just them. Just them. I'm not spewing any hate. I'm spewing facts. Is this not the Democrat Party? Is this not what you guys are? These people will tell these people that they're brainwashed. What the actual hell? What the hellium? What the hell? No, he did not. Maybe in 2020, but I'm talking about in 2025. You will see Democrats driving down the street with masks on. No one else in the car, just by themselves, just driving in the car with a mask on. They ain't sick. No one else is in the car. No one. This is art. This is beautiful art. Double tap that screen, like, subscribe. If you guys have any comments, questions, drop some super chats. We can talk about whatever you guys want. We can play videos. We can have debates. If you want to debate with me, join the Discord, the link in the bio. Democrats keep saying I'm living in the past, knowing damn well that these Democrats are still wearing masks, especially when they're driving down the street by themselves. How do you spot a Democrat in traffic? You look for the mask wearer in 2025. You look for the mask wearer. You're literally looking for the mask wearer. ICE masks are necessary. That way they can deport the illegal immigrants and sneak up on them and throw them in a van and deport them. It's that simple. It's that simple. The Democrats are mad and I love it. It is hilarious. Slam that like and subscribe button. How would I know a random driver is a Democrat? Because they're wearing a mask with no one else in the car. They're wearing a COVID mask while they drive down the street. That is how. An M95 mask while they're driving down the street. That's how you spot a Democrat. It's not hard. We're in 2025, and you can still see this in traffic once in a while. It's not that hard to find, guys. Hit that like, subscribe button, double tap that screen. If you guys have any comments, questions, drop some super chats. Hell, I'll do 300 to 400 push-ups for a $20 super chat. I would just love to embarrass the Democrats and show them how to do some proper man workouts and exercises. But double tap that screen, guys. Double tap that screen. Dems are so mad. Yup. Why are they mad when they look like this? I'm just confused. They support this shit. They support this shit. They support this bullshit. They support this bullshit. And they support this bullshit. It's not satire. Nothing about this is satire. It's not funny. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's just sad. Democrats are still wearing these in 2025. They're still getting these in 2025. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Nope. No jabs for this good sir. No thank you. None whatsoever. The Democrats want my body, my choice, but when the government tells you to take something, they tell you, take it or die. Take it or die. That's the choices they'll scream at you at the top of your lungs. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you guys have any comments, questions, the Democrats should move to Canada. I love the Canadians, but if Democrats love illegal immigration and free health care, then eat your hat now. No, thank you. Trump is my president. Trump will be my president for the next 3.5 years. And I got 2 more hats coming just for you Democrats. Well, your favorite president never had a speech impediment, and I talk 10 times better than him. He's alive and well. And I can't wait to see the Democrats crying in 2026. I can't wait to see the Democrats crying in 2027. And they will be crying in 2028 until November. And then when Trump gets elected again, a lot of them won't survive, unfortunately, because they'll have a mental breakdown. It's very sad to see. But I don't think a lot of the Democrats will survive until 2028 because they'll have mental breakdowns over Trump. Trump is your president. Accept and love him. I've converted lots of Democrats to Trump supporters because there is common sense and there is emotional bullshit like this. This kind of shit is all bullshit. The Muslim flag, no thank you. This country was founded on Christianity. We have freedom of religion, it's fine. But this is a Christian country. Just cry? Why would I cry? Shouldn't the party that got defeated by Donald J. Trump and the Republicans, shouldn't they cry? Eat it, you whore! How about you eat it since you hate Trump so much? If Trump wants a day or 2 of privacy and peace away from the cameras and social media, don't you think he deserves it? He worked harder than Biden did in 4 years in his first 100 days. Not to mention his first 200 days. Even if you're Democrat, even if you're Republican, it doesn't matter about your party affiliation. If you have common sense, you would admit that Trump is the hardest working president in modern day American history. And all the Democrats are very, very angry because Trump is their president. And they don't like Christianity and they don't like that Trump prays. They worship the devil, some of them. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them do. Now, the reason the Democrats get so mad about this is because they know it's them. I have a pretty everything, but thank you. I'm sure you have a pretty mouth too with all these weird comments. I'm not trolling. What am I trolling about? Listen, I never said I agreed with everything that Donald Trump did. But he was being manipulated by, health advisors and whatnot. He's not a doctor. He doesn't know about certain things and whatnot. And I think Donald Trump is the best president, but at least Trump isn't out there telling you to get your you look like a thumb dressed as a grifter. Okay, I really don't care what the Democrat Party says because we're winning. And by the way, I don't really care. You're a grown-ass man. I don't want you to be physically attracted to me. I don't know you. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, some serious questions or comments, not just some troll super chats, drop some super chats. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell us some good Trump policies, deportations, big beautiful bill, no tax on tips. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on all day about Trump's good policies. Excuse me. Hit that like and subscribe button. Because Trump is the best option for president. That's why. Harris was a horrible decision to vote for her. Why would you do that? The only people that voted for Harris is because they have Trump derangement syndrome. That's the reason why she lost millions of votes. She lost 7 swing states and millions of votes. The majority of American voters that voted for Donald J. Trump. And if you want to scream at the top of your lungs that your party didn't go out and vote, that's your fault. You should have went out and voted a little bit harder. You should have went out and voted a little bit harder. But the facts are, the majority of American voters voted for Donald J. Trump. And Trump has the best policies. Even the Democrats, they wanted to deport illegal immigrants. They wanted to deport all the illegal immigrants because a lot of these illegal immigrants that enter the country, by default, if they're jumping over that border and coming in illegally, they are illegal alien criminals. They violated federal law. And I will debate anyone that wants to on immigration, gun rights, anything they want. I love to debate the Democrats, but the fact is not a single Democrat has ever beat me in a debate. It's like easy pickings with the Democrats. It's easy to beat them in any kind of debate whatsoever. It's not even a challenge. It's not even a challenge, guys. The president tweeted 2 days ago, where are these Democrats? Where have they been? Hello, Burnell. Burnell, people are still saying that, where's Trump? Trump tweeted on Sunday. Where are the Democrats? Are they lost in their head or something? Trump has been seen publicly since Sunday. So are the Democrats lost in their head or something? I'm confused. Jeremy, if you want to debate me, join my Discord. I'm open to debate anybody. Any and everybody. I said join my Discord, Jeremy. It's the link in my bio. Hit that like and subscribe button. I can't invite you. You got to join the Discord, and I'll send you a link there. The president has been seen on Sunday. It is now Tuesday. Democrats, wake up. Wake up, Democrats. Trump is around. Trump is alive and well. Trying to get my point across to these Democrats. Let me debate you? Yeah, sure. I'll debate anybody. Join my Discord. We can debate gun rights. We can debate all the wars that Trump has ended. We can debate, immigration. We can debate all this kind of stuff. We need to deport every single illegal immigrant who jumps over that border. There's no questions about that. I love the Hispanic people. I love the Mexican people. I love all kinds of Latinos, Latinas, all that stuff. Great people, but at the end of the day, if you break the law, you should be deported. I have Mexican family. If you break the law, you should be deported. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing out there? Happy Tuesday. Should we play some more clips? It seems like I got the Democrats' attention now. Should we play some more factual clips, or should we show them Donald J. Trump so they can know he's alive and well? Do you guys need to see Trump on TV, or what is it going to take for you to believe that he's still alive? Are we going to go for 3.5 years? And this is propaganda at its worst. Does anyone want to see some ICE crap? That's, they're trying to make propaganda about Kilmar Bray Garcia. Does anyone want to see that? Hit that like and subscribe button if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, any videos I should play on Fox or anywhere else. You can drop some super chats. I'm all up to hear it. Ooh, the cartel loses more than $1 billion amid Trump crackdown. Isn't that fantastic? Thank you, Mr. Donald J. Trump. You're the only president in recent years that's ever cracked down on the cartel. Every other Democrat president just wants all the human smuggling, all the crap to continue. It's insane. It is truly, truly, truly insane. The Democrats are like, no, let the cartel continue. But then they'll claim, oh, we care about the children. We care about the children. And they'll accuse someone that has zero charges pending against him relating to children. If they really cared about the children, they would want to deport the illegal immigrants and the trafficking coyotes that come in this country. But they don't care about that. They just want to put Donald Trump in prison because they have Trump derangement syndrome.
Warning that his country is, quote, super prepared to deal with threats from the U.S. as America sends warships to the Caribbean. Secretary of State Marco Rubio headed to the region, traveling to Ecuador tomorrow. But first, he's going to visit Mexico later today, where the United States is nearing a security
Hit that like and subscribe button.
The Trump agenda.
If anyone has any questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about, drop some super chats.
Where we had 2,700 apprehensions, or 2,300 people on the ground in one area and another area. If you extrapolate out that data, we're really costing them over $1 billion, in their business model.
Jonathan Fays, a former acting ICE director and former federal prosecutor, joins me now. Simply put, Jonathan, it looks like after years and years of just talk, the United States, under the Trump administration, is turning the screws on those who, one, try to poison us, but two, those who try to human traffic across our borders.
Yup, the Democrats don't care about that. They only care about putting Trump in prison.
After 4 years of basically, I want to say neglect, but basically encouraging or aiding all of these things, it's a massive sea change. And it's already shown these incredible results. And we're going to see it by the end of this year. We're going to look at these drug deaths and things like that are going to go down massively because of this action. But it just really shows the difference between strength and weakness in foreign policy, because all of these countries in Latin America not only want to cooperate, they basically feel like they have to cooperate, but you're going to cooperate when somebody on the other end is as strong and is willing to use the cards they have to play, which we have. And I think what we've seen in Iran recently is probably sending a message to Maduro in Venezuela, despite what he's saying.
So to that point, do you think Marco Rubio can get these Latin American countries to push back even further against these cartels, which you and I have discussed numerous times on this show? In many instances, these cartels run parts of these Latin American countries almost like they're a nation within a nation. Can Marco Rubio, while he's there, basically put a stop to that, Jonathan?
I'm not sure if he could put a stop just while he's there, but I think he could put a stop to it, because when these countries know that they have our support and full-throated support, not just lip service, they can have the confidence to stand up to these cartels. But I agree with you, it's not an easy situation. They are quite powerful, and unfortunately they got even more powerful during the Biden administration because but I do think they do want to be on our side, and you see Mexico and these other countries do want to be supportive, and they really don't want the cartels being that powerful, but it's very tricky for them a line for them to walk. But they're already all cooperating on the immigration front and things like that, which also hurts the cartels because they made so much money from human trafficking.
Yeah, and they lose $1 billion. That's going to determine what they can do influence-wise. It's going to have a negative effect on what the cartels can ultimately do. Finally, quick answer on this. The push to unmask ICE agents has a new face.
Of course I want some company. Does Andrea want to come on the live stream? There's a lot of hating Democrats out there this morning.
AI, with anti-ICE activists now able to use artificial intelligence to identify these agents. Jonathan, can Congress or even the president do anything to stop this? Because this is putting lives of those who defend our freedom on these borders and within our country at risk.
You're exactly right. It puts their lives at risk, puts their families' lives at risk. There are things you can look at, like obstruction of justice, because they're doing this to impede ICE agents in performing their duties. So that's one thing. But I think what's an important point to be made, what makes this even worse is the Democratic Party doesn't stand up to this, which is so shameful. I haven't seen one politician stand up to the unmasking of ICE agents. They actually take the opposite view and want to unmask them and put them in danger. It's completely shameful, but I think something will be done, and I think probably some arrests will be coming down the pike on some of these instances.
We will see. Jonathan Fahey, thank you. Appreciate your time, sir. And
any final questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about? I'm going to see if we can get a guest on here. If not, we will probably be wrapping up for the afternoon. If anyone wants to, the morning, if anyone wants to debate anything you guys want to talk about, just drop some super chats, ask some questions. But here, let's put on the legendary green screen again. All right, guys, no comments, questions, anything you want to talk about? All right, guys, peace out. Hit that like and subscribe button. Love you all, even you Democrats. I'll be back in maybe 5 to 10 minutes, possibly, if we can get a guest. If not, I'll see you guys a bit later. Peace. Love, Democrats, love.